I can't cope. Honestly, that meeting.
If you all knew the mayhem that goes on prior to the start button
That meeting 2 weeks ago was meant to sort all this shit out, and it just hasn't. Jesus Christ, piss
and that's just gone because we spoke about swearing as well, and me and you just dropped some in.
Well, there we go, yeah.
I can't help it, my Ritalin hasn't arrived yet.
Right, anyways, hello. Welcome to Bragging Rights. Hello. Season 3, episode 17. Hosted, as always, at Tribal. Sponsored, as always, by Comscaff. Don't forget to give us a like, subscribe, and if you're watching on YouTube, click that hype button. Really does help us out. How are we all? Start with you, Jimmy, because it seems like a fun place to start.
I'm alive, mate.
Breathing.
I'm surviving. I'm getting better. I'm hoping that I carry on getting better because the walk from Wembley Park train station this Saturday's going to be horrific if not. But other than that, yeah, I'm fine. I'm still on crutches though.
Dino?
I'm back.
You are?
After being stood down last week.
Blame Susan.
Yeah.
You stood yourself down.
Shut up. Crap weekend, but yeah, I'm here.
He's banned. Oh no, he's not. He's failed the HIA.
Yeah, he's failed it, yeah. He's going to miss it.
I have missed this.
Josh, let's move on. How are you?
I'm grand, cheers, how are you, mate?
Yeah, not so bad, can't grumble. Bit of pain in the old tushy pegs, but you know, I'll be alright.
Yeah, you'll battle through, you're a trooper.
That's it, you've got
Somebody
to
watching this.
Can you eat
Are they
that?
You're whinging
only
set.
on this side.
We do whinge. Yeah, we've got whinge.
Yeah,
bro.
we've got to.
We're nearly middle-aged.
Well, we had a real nice comment
In
this
fact,
week.
I probably am middle-aged.
You getting
Oh,
there?
yeah.
But we had that real
Not
nice
quite,
comment,
but-
didn't we? Was it this week where it was like, something about, on YouTube, it just said, this pod just like feels like a bunch of mates or chatting to a bunch of
Yeah.
mates, which is what I've always said is why it's good. But we do have to edit out a lot of the stuff that starts.
Well, Jimmy does.
Yeah, Jimmy has to do the edit.
Yeah, I mean, if I could be bothered, I'd put a pre-roll together, you know, like outtakes. Mate, that'd take ages.
It'd take longer
though.
than the actual episode.
It'd take ages to edit.
We'd be banned.
And we'd be kicked off YouTube and probably not allowed in Tribal. And we've I think we've
Been there, done that almost.
been there. Yeah. Touch wood. Anyway,
Moving swiftly on.
it's us, isn't it?
It
First.
is, yeah.
Do we have to?
Yeah.
Don't be negative, because you guys have been great to me and Craig.
You
haven't
jinxed us. It's your fucking fault.
Aren't you though? Like,
Don't.
you have been great to us. We've won so much, and every time you've come on the pod, you've took it graciously, you've said well done, and it's only right that we do the same for you. Yeah? You have won the treble this weekend. Yeah?
We have.
Defeated by all three newly promoted teams, and I just think that for me and Craig, it's only fair that we're even back. So well done, lads, because it's only right, innit?
Yeah, you can stop singing All Faithful, you'll never win a treble. That one.
Bugger.
Do you know, on that note though, I genuinely don't know if you're the first team this year to do it or not. I think you are.
I think you are.
But I didn't actually sense check the odds on that to see if it was true or not. If you're the first, but you definitely have done it.
We are.
I don't think it matters if we are the first. Like, the fact that we've done it's embarrassing.
It's not losing to them teams. It's just where we are as a team at the minute. That's the more concerning thing. Obviously, losing's not great, whoever it's to. But I've got written down here, what a mess. We're just clueless. That's the problem. And a quote from Andy last year: as a team, we play with a lot of heart and grit and determination, and we hang on in there. No one can deny that. We do that. We're just clueless. We are absolutely clueless.
I saw a comment the other day from someone, I'm not going to say who, they put something like, since Cartwright left, we've literally just, everything he's instilled in the squad has gone. And I'm like, no, that's not true. Because, and then someone was like, what's, if you played 2026 versus 2024, who wins? I'm like, well, 2026, easily. Because 2026, yes, we're still shit, but the difference between now and 2024 is the team is still putting the effort in until the 80th minute. And I've written this at the bottom of my notes. Despite lacking quality, both sets of players kept pumping until the 80th minute.
Does that deserve its own section, that Jimmy's done notes?
I did, honestly.
Just before you turned
We had a meeting and I made a commitment.
I was down there, I passed out, I was shocked.
Push you over that balcony in a minute.
You're right though. You are right.
I know, that's why I wrote it down.
We can't we can't forget, and do not hold me to this. I'm not blaming injuries, but we have got a whole heap of injuries. So it's going to disrupt your style of play, how you play. It's just natural. But even with a host of them players back, I still think we'd be as clueless in attack as we are, because we've been led around the park by two blokes who, I won't say not interested because they are putting a shift in. They're just
not good enough.
Just not good enough.
Not together. I think separately, I still think Caesar's a decent 7. I still think separately, I still think that Arthur's a decent half, whether he's playing 6 or 7. Together and behind the pack that they're playing behind, clueless. It's just not working.
Do we think with Arthur he might be better set playing rugby union? It's just these wild balls that he throws out to the people in the front row. Maybe he's looking for a 14th or 15th
if Briscoe
man
had been on his wing, he would have caught it. But still, you're in your own 20. Why are you even attempting that?
Do you know what? I still think the pass he went out, they were calling it on the commentary as saying the wind got the ball or whatever for that pass out wide he did to Barron. If I'm Arthur, I'm still looking at Barron thinking, it was in the air long enough. Why ain't you caught that? Like, yeah, it wasn't the best pass, but he still should have had that ball.
That comes down to a bit of rustiness on Barron's part, doesn't it? 'Cause he's had a bit of game time out, which, you know, you can forgive anybody that, but at the top level, you'd still expect positioning to be one of the things that you don't lose, if that makes sense. Fair enough if he catches it and gets nailed straight away, fair enough.
Or if he's in the right position and he drops it or whatever because you've not played for 8 weeks or whatever.
Positioning, you'd think that's one thing that you'd never lose.
It's not just that though, it's the fact that with Arthur, he's obviously trying to do off-the-cuff stuff like that, which always be ready for the ball, it's game rugby, the ball's always loud till the whistle's gone. But at the same time, he seems to doubt himself quite a lot. I was joking saying that he's had to make a running prop a couple of weeks ago. He did a lot of that again this weekend. And it's almost like he gets the ball and the speed of the game is too quick for him, which it can't be, especially not against Bradford, right? So then he goes, I need to take this one in, or I'm going to try something different. And the players aren't on the same wavelength. And as a team, you're really lucky that Zach Hardacre doesn't seem to drop in the effort and the skill. Because if you didn't have him, I'm not sure where the team would be in terms of results.
Well, we won't be any better with results, I know that, but I'm on about with performance, that grit determination would come down you probably won't be able to say that about us. Still on Arthur and Caesar though, it has to change. Like, I know it probably can't this week because Amir's copped a ban. Failed the HIA. So it means Custy's going to have to go in at 9. But going forward, he has.
I don't think he will. I think he'll leave him at 13. You've lost Aiden, and you've lost Fash now, and you've lost Asiata, and you've lost Bell. And Cust at 13, with the ball out, it allowed us to at least try and play a little bit more like our regular shape. I think you leave him there and
but
you
with two halves who are just devoid of confidence and look absolutely clueless with ball in hand.
At one point, Litton went down injured, so Arthur thought he'd kicked to backside on an attacking kick.
They're absolutely clueless, the pair of them. And on to the last play of the game, Caesar. Why are you putting that kick in? Eyes up. You know that fullback, that winger's dropped. Why are you putting that kick in? Play hot potato with it. You've got nothing else to lose. You give yourself more of a chance doing that than you do putting a half-ass kick in, like he's done most of the time this year on second, third, fourth tackle. We are just absolutely clueless. It's no surprise to me that both our tries, our half-backs wasn't really involved in them. You've got Ardek putting a kick in, and then you've got Sal offloading the ball to Moy, giving it to Litton. And again on that as well, it shows just how frantic and how off the rails. I don't think that's maybe the right term to use, but Litton could have stepped inside there instead of diving for the corner. He had one person coming across in front of him. Step off the left foot, you're 5 yards more into the... I'm not saying he would have kicked it.
Martin, or was it Moy that was actually pointing inside?
Moy was on his inside. Martin, he sort of passed him on the left as he's going to the corner.
But one of them was like pointing as if to say, go that way.
Step in. He could have stepped in, or he could have passed inside to Moy. It just showed, great, he scored the try, but it was a complete lack of composure, which is, we can say that for the full team at the minute. Just diving for the corner, steps inside, 5 yards, bit of an easy kick. With that wind, it still would have been difficult. but it's
Significant the Bachelor try though, wasn't it? Did you have this noted?
go on.
FC's 15,000th try scored since the club was a club. If we no banter aside about Hull Sharks and all that, if you class it as when Hull FC started, Bachelor
I
scored
didn't know
your
that
club's
stat.
15,000th try.
No, I didn't know that either.
Wow.
So that's one. Annoyingly, in the future, if that comes up, you have to remember this game of amateurs pub
quiz.
quiz. Yeah,
Who's
but
got
that's
a
a
left
good
seas
stat, isn't it?
15,000
Yeah, it's a good stat, yeah.
In what looked like a pub game.
That's unfair
2
to
weeks-
people that play out of pubs.
2 weeks in a row, we've been exactly the same. Just clueless.
Yeah, I think the most frustrating thing for me about that Bachelor try is the fact that from the kick-off, we then allowed Ill to get dragged back into the in goal and give away a dropout.
He applied the handbrake there. As a rugby league prop when I was playing, that's the most frustrating thing for me. He just seemed to stop.
Yeah.
Which
Like-
is not like him.
No, because I mean,
He's the
I have
first.
watched
He's the first one of our props. He's the first one of any of our players. He's head first straight in. Not literally, but you know what I mean. He's
not Sean Briscoe.
no. He's front and centre taking that ball in, and he's very rarely
Leg
backward
drive and
step.
stuff,
Yeah,
but
exactly. And so I was quite surprised.
Yeah,
at that.
I was quite surprised at that because I haven't watched as much Hull as you guys have, obviously. But like,
Look at you.
what I have seen, I have been impressed by Hill. Like you said, his determination and his effort levels.
He's at that line. I think we've spoke about it a few times this year. He is at that line, and I think he will only develop better and get a better understanding when to get to close to that line. And he has crossed it a few times, but he is the signing I've been really happy with this year, and I can't say that about many players if I'm honest. The other thing is, I know we haven't spoke about this together, but Briscoe back at centre again. No surprise that the 2 tries come down the side. Something we constantly last season. Briscoe out of position at centre, no confidence is outside, struggling to get a link with his winger in his second row on his inside. And again, you are clearly playing a winger at centre, and Bradford exploited that twice. The confusion in that first try, why Barron was fair the 4th man in, I don't know. But it just, there's not, it's all over the place on that side, a bit like me today, to be honest, because I can't get my words out. I can't fault Briscoe for what he's done. He's an amazing player. He's been a fantastic servant to the club and to Rugby League. But can we stop playing at the centre, please? Because it cost us a lot last year, and it's costing us again.
It just looks a step too far gone, doesn't it? Are you going to talk about the big talking point?
Yeah,
one?
we'll have a quick
There's a
word
couple.
on that.
Well, no, it's just that for me, I think that Will Price should be paying a fine.
Teaching Aidan his tackling techniques.
2022, Will Price gets a 10-game ban.
Is that what year it was? We couldn't think of
And
that.
now he's obviously taught Yusuf how to do it, and Yusuf's got away with it on his 6 games.
Well, yeah, I've had some old fans saying, "Oh, ridiculous," but
I thought he got off
I
light.
think he got off lightly. Like I thought 6 to 8, but I thought he'd have got the top end because he let go.
One of
We
the
knew
reasons
it'd
I
be
think,
different. Because you said he got 10 games. Sorry, you
Yeah,
said he
Will
got 10
Price did
games
get
in
10 games,
2022. I knew it wouldn't be 10 purely off the back of the fact that the whole way that the disciplinary works is different. But I still expected him to get more than 6.
I thought he would get cited twice because I thought his first challenge was like a shoulder charge or no attempt to wrap. So I thought he would get 2, and that would take him up to maybe 8 games.
I think he's been helped by the fact
that the league feels sorry for you.
The RFL don't know what they're doing.
he picked him up. I just think he's panicked. He's like frustration now we're playing, get to him. He's panicked, and that's why he's let go and then instantly thought, oh no, and then he's held his hand up like straight away, instantly regret, instantly knew he'd done wrong. Maybe that's why he's got a little bit of leniency and got 6 games.
He
instead
did
of the 8.
immediately.
Yeah,
I'll give him. He absolutely did.
It was, but I think that challenge, and a lot of challenges that we've been putting in, is just born out of frustration with how we are playing at the minute.
Which, having played the game, we can understand when things aren't going our way. Or
But
if
these
we're-
are professional rugby league players.
Yeah,
that
but
need
they're only human.
Yeah,
It still
true.
happens, doesn't it?
It does.
I shouldn't be defending him. I should be giving him absolute hell because they could have ended that guy's career if he'd have landed higher up on his neck or anything like that. But no, I understand it. Like, we've played the game, all 4 of us, not counting that. And we know
Catching strays over there.
we know ourselves that
Can't
like
even defend herself.
if we're having a bad personal game or we've got shit going on in our personal lives, it can creep into your game and that frustration can come out in the wrong ways. So for me, I can kind of understand it. But then on the flip side, it's like, if it have, it's flipped him, but then if it had sort of guided him down...
Yeah, I think he let go because he thought, oh no, I just think he's complete and utter panicked.
I think if he'd have gone like proper German suplex, Brock Lesnar suplex
style.
City style, I think they'd have let him off. At least if he had good technique.
As long as he pinned him, it'd have been alright.
Right, let's finish on some results. Women's team, they beat Bradford.
Hey.
Yeah, 24-0. The reserves went down to Leeds on Friday, 44-18.
Because there's none of them left, they're all playing first team.
Could be that. And unfortunately, the wheelchair team went down 44-34 to Sheffield over the weekend.
Bragging Rights is proudly sponsored by Comscaf. Hull's own Comscaf have been keeping things safe and steady for over 30 years, providing professional scaffolding services nationwide. If you need a team you can trust for your next project, big or small, head to comscaf.co.uk or give them a call on 01482 782 181.
Right, then let's move on to some positive, because that was morbid, wasn't it? So.
Why'd you point at us then?
Oh, Susan. Oh,
yeah. She's like,
probably because I'm not usually looking that way. That's why. I've even set a timer today to sort of see where we're at. But
I'll just say, first enjoyable watch of a game I've seen you guys involved in since probably the Brisbane game. Not from a result side, but a game where I've enjoyed sitting and watching, because yours haven't been. Even the Leeds game, it wasn't an enjoyable game for a rugby league fan. It was funny, but it wasn't an enjoyable game to watch. But this one was. It was a really good, competitive, hard-fought game.
Yeah, it's funny because Beth messaged me halfway through our game, maybe about 20 minutes to go, and said, this hasn't been the best game, it's been a bit boring. Which, I described it to my mum as, it was maybe one for the purists, skill level wasn't the highest, but the physicality was there from both sides. The effort and commitment was there from both sides. So I think it was one for the purists. And then ironically, they went to Bradford yesterday, because we're now on Monday, aren't we? And then my sister messaged me and she was like, "All FC, hold my beer." That's basically what she said. So it was like, but yeah, 6 on the bounce now in the league, 8 in all competitions, which, given our start of going 0-3, I believe it was, then we can't really grumble, can we? And like I've said, it was far from a classic, but we needed a game like that, especially going into this period that we've got coming up. We needed a tough physical game. We've played Bradford, it was a cakewalk. We played Castleford, it was a cakewalk.
I know. Another cast one. Yeah, same.
But we only conceded 1, didn't we? So, and then obviously we played Warrington, and we didn't have to play at a massively high level in that game. I didn't feel it never felt like we needed to sort of go up into maybe 4th gear. We probably went into 3rd gear in that game in parts, but definitely not into 4th gear. So I think going into this period that we needed was, especially at a place like Leigh, where not many teams are going to go and get a win, especially now they're getting players back. That is, for away fans, a horrific ground to go to. Not in terms of where it is or it's a shithole or anything like that. It's just a horrid place for it. It's not a welcoming place for away fans. A bit like I imagine Craven Park to be for an away fan.
You know what? I'd say Leigh is a less enjoyable place than Craven Park to go to as an away fan.
It's horrible.
Not because of these bad facilities, like you've just said.
It's a great stadium, great facilities.
They do everything in their power to make sure you're a Leigh game and we're not going to make this nice for you. It's just the little things like playing the crap over the tannoy like halfway through a tackle set, and
I saw a clip from your game. I think it was one of their kickoffs. But like halfway, like three tackles in after a kickoff, and there was still like lights like shining, like flashing across the pitch.
Then make a tackle and then the smoke machines go off in front. But I noticed it was just in front of your fans one of the times. Like
one of them was malfunctioning in front of us. It was just
was
going
it?
off by itself.
Oh,
and then
right, fair enough.
when all of them were going off with maybe about 5 minutes to go, when they were just all going off for no apparent reason.
Derek told him to aim for Josh.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, because
Well, that's the
Josh has
problem.
been really mean about Derek this year.
That's the problem, isn't it, with Derek Beaumont, as in, call him Belland all the time because he is. But at the end of the day, rugby league's a dying sport that we need to do something about. And the guy does something different.
Yeah.
There's so many things he does that I disagree with, right? But what he does do there is he makes the ground somewhere their families go, not just people, families. And he makes the kids entertained because it's funny. Because when Sue knocks it on and you get the family fortunes, the kids will find that funny. When I was a kid, I played behind the East Stand and didn't watch the game. I played rugby with a little ball with my mates or whatever.
Or whatever you could find.
Whatever you could find, right? You still see him. But in Leigh, that doesn't seem to happen because everything he does is to make it a full family day out in those awful conditions, because it was terrible conditions added to it. That's what they do well, and you can't argue with that. What I wanted to mention, you mentioned then, Craig, about the physicality of it. I made a comment, probably counting my eggs before they'd hatched the other day, but I liked how the physical the Wigan game was this week, because they've now got to play us 2 weeks in a row.
I was going to mention that.
And I says, hopefully it takes out them a bit. But then we came up against another big physical game ourselves.
I arguably say that your game on the weekend was more physical than the Leeds Wigan game.
Ours went 80 minutes at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, we were under the pump, obviously, in that second half. We didn't score a point in that second half.
No, they did really well. Apart from Tyrone May playing in his dinner suit again and orchestrating 3 tries for you, I think Leigh really give you a one hell of a game, and it I think you just said earlier, it sets you up for the next couple of weeks quite nicely, because Wigan are going to bring similar physicality to the next couple of weeks, aren't they? So it's set after a couple of easy air weeks for you. It sort of gets your lads
It was
back
a nice
up to that
step
level.
up, absolutely. But this stat I wanted to mention, this tells you the tale of the tape. Forgetting how that second half went, we didn't score a point. Forgetting they had a comeback, they couldn't quite put a couple of not tries for opportunities, but
Half
open
breaks.
play opportunities to bed. 48 minutes in, we had 52% possession for them, 48 for us, pretty much split down the middle there. They'd completed at 73%, we'd completed at 72. Again,
In them conditions is not bad.
you're splitting hairs there, aren't you? Then we'd made 599 metres, they'd made 525, so we'd made 60, 70 more. They'd made 180 tackles, we'd made 181. So if I give you them stats, and we're all looking at scoreboard, you go, wow, that is right down the middle of that. This is a very in-between game. No, because at that point, Rovers were 20-6 up, because we knew how to execute our chances, we knew how to put them away. And that is all it comes down to. And so, I mean, there's different reports out there describing how they think the game went and how they rated Rovers versus Leigh and what the teams were like. That tells you everything you need to know. Rovers knew how to get over the line and win the game, and then back the defence, because we made a lot of decisions in the second half, particularly with 20 minutes to go, which we did against Wigan in the grand final, which we've done in multiple games, where we stopped kicking. And normally in those wet conditions, you'd be like, get it up high, challenge for it, it's going to spill. Get it along the floor, make them bend the back. I'm not saying we didn't do them. What I'm saying is we didn't aggressively attack them. Even at the very end when they had the final break, Budgie didn't challenge the ball. We weren't risking any ball pinging off or anything. It was, as long as he catches that, me and my teammates will keep this team from scoring. And it came out to win.
We did just about, yeah. I've got written down here, my sort of brief, very, very brief analysis of the game is dug in initially because they come out firing, and I felt we were off the pace early on. Got in front clinically. Then we tired because of their physicality in the first sort of half an hour, and then how they'd come out in the second half. And then we dug in. We showed some proper grit and determination, and it was good to see our players. I was thinking this walking out, actually get tired, because they've come to the end of the game and they just look full of energy in the last couple of weeks. Every player on that pitch, I can't remember who put it on. Somebody who put it on X.
Oh.
No, it was on X. And maybe not every player, but 80% of the players was down on the haunches. They left everything on that pitch, and that's all you can ask for from both clubs. And it was nice to see us win differently. Like we've always said in sport, good teams find a way to win ugly, and I thought we did that because it wasn't a pretty performance by us by any stretch of the imagination, and I felt like we've done things that we haven't had to do, but it's good to see that we can still do them.
I felt, broadly speaking, we were the better team for 50 to 55 minutes. I think they had 2 patches of 15 minutes, give or take, in either half, where they challenged us, but ultimately didn't get over the line. I don't think it was evenly matched down the middle. I thought Rovers were the better team. I also thought there was a number of incidents in the game that you can't really go past without mentioning. I personally felt Mbappe was a yellow card.
Yep.
I'm shocked he hasn't been cited. We've had Carl Lawton, who's unfortunately broke his nose in this game.
Oh, Carl Lawton.
Yeah. He's
Briscoe's brother.
Yeah, he's missed 2 games for that this year already for a very similar tackle. You know, there's
Where we go with the inconsistencies.
a lot of people scream about Rovers getting favourable decisions from the RFL and from the disciplinary committee, but then you see tackles like that not get punished. Also, Mikey tripping someone for the second time this year. It's becoming a repeat pattern though, isn't it, with Mikey? Like, how many trips is he going to have? He's had trips to Wembley, he's had trips to...
Nice.
We shouldn't do no self-setups, but I had 2 of that.
Cool. I told him off in the group chat the other day for a self-setup. You can't be doing that.
But when it's delivered that well, you have to... Oh, they're the back.
But no, I generally did think that in such a tough encounter, there was a lot of physicals, a lot of big shows. I think if you ref that game to the letter for every single infringement, you probably wouldn't have watched Rugby League. I saw a lot, in my opinion, a lot of tackles where arms didn't wrap, a lot of extra elbows, a lot of extra arms. It was
It's
very
happening
physical.
quite a lot. Like, just across the game, arms not wrapping. What happens to this rule where if the ball player's down, you can't add weight to the tackle when the player's down? That's happening all the time again.
I mean, we're doing that.
Yeah, no, everybody's doing it.
Yeah, no,
Everybody's doing
I
it.
keep calling us out on it when we do it. I think Aiden did it one time this week. Their player hit the ball. He had one of our men round his legs. Elbow went down, and then Aiden just went, "Oh, hello," and just laid on top of him.
You're seeing like players arriving at the ruck half a second after the tackle's effectively completed. I'll put it in inverted commas because obviously they weren't blown up for. And then, like you said, adding weight to the tackle. So to me, that's a flop.
Yeah.
I think we could probably do a full section on the things that the RFL are over-focusing on and the things that they're under-focusing on. But I think the not wrapping... I mean, Mini did it...
Mini does it all the time.
On... Who was it against in the semi-final? He was 3rd man in and he shoulder straight to a guy's face. No, like, arm was just down here, shoulder straight to his face, whilst he was halfway on the floor.
So you all
But
knew the shoulder went
we
shoulder to
aren't
face,
going to
but
go
it was-
into that,
No,
but that
it
is
was
a very
saved
black
by
and white way of
somebody
looking
there.
at it. Because in my opinion, that exact instant that we actually got the penalty for, because Warrington rang in for no reason, Mini was 3rd man in, the shoulder didn't make contact with the head, and he did wrap his arm. And that's just 2 people
His
seeing
arm was
it.
here?
But that's 2 people seeing it very different. Look how we always argue about when Cost tried to kill Morg in the derby.
Morg tried biting Cust's shoulder.
What we're doing here is
Right.
proving the point to the listeners and the viewers that if we aren't getting it right between us, even with our red and white and black and white glasses on, the disciplinary committee and the RFL aren't getting it right as well. And I just felt that there was a lot, and maybe you're right, Dean, I've seen a lot in other games, I just felt maybe it was more noticeable because of all the wet conditions, because of how physical the encounter was, and maybe because we haven't seen it for Rovers for a few weeks. They just felt like a lot of naughtiness going on. And, we've come away unscathed from the match review. Mikey and Hicko have been cited, but they've only got fines for it, so there's been no punishment. Mbappe got nothing. It just feels a bit strange when you're seeing people get pinged and they're not getting pinged in other games.
Yeah, Mikey and Mbappe not really getting anything. Mikey, that's the 2nd or 3rd time he's tripped now. Like,
Only the second one.
Second.
I'd say 2nd or 3rd.
First one
this season.
First one being
Is it
deliberate.
York
This
one?
one, first game. Then this one being what I tried to look back for it. There's one I saw. It generally looks accidental, like a tangle. But once you're being tarred with that brush, might not be. Might have been on purpose.
I
We don't
have
We'll
know.
seen
speak about the trip a bit later on because it does come up again a bit later.
okay.
On,
But
so.
Mbappe as well.
In this section.
Just before we move on from that, I mentioned it in the group. Amon, why? Like, don't put your hand over your head. It was a dirty tackle. I'm not going to justify the tackle whatsoever. Pape should have got, a bit more than what he's got, definitely. But don't go on the floor holding your head like you're injured and you're hurt, and then jump up and laugh as soon as the ref blows his whistle.
Did you do a jog back?
If you're hurt, fair enough. Or if you just don't be a fucking dick.
But look, we spoke about Asport this last year for a long time.
Wow.
Lewis Martin did it for you at the end of the game on Sunday.
Yeah, I know.
He wasn't touched high. He went down to try and milk a penalty. So you're asking why did they do it? Because if the ref had give that, I mean, I wouldn't trust Caesar or Arthur to kick the ball upfield, but you would have kicked it upfield.
They give it to Zach at the minute.
Yeah. Zach,
So have a go to try and win the game. Players are doing it because they know they can win.
But
out
it's
for
just
it.
it's
We
creeping
don't
in
like-
more
we don't
and more
like
now,
it.
and I friggin' hate it.
Carl
It's
Felt, prime example.
winding me up somewhat rotten.
What Martin did, and the way to stop that is for the referees to stop turning round and say, is he capable of playing the ball? Which I heard her say, Tara Jones said twice on
She had a great
Sunday.
game.
She did have a good game,
I
but
thought she did.
like she said it twice. Is he able to play the ball? Is he able to play the ball? No, if he's taking the piss, stop the game, green card him, get him off. They'll soon stop doing it.
I agree. We need to go out through. You're going to finish up. I'll just say send my best on to Morg, obviously. Looks like he's potentially retorn the
Such a
pec.
shame again.
And all we know now is it's at least 6 weeks.
Yeah,
we don't know the
initial
extent.
prognosis says 6 weeks, but we'll know more
Has he been training with us?
next week. He must have been.
He's re-injured himself.
But he didn't look fit in the warm-up.
You Rovers lads bringing players back too early. Ridiculous.
Do you know what Rovers? Because we do
Just before you go on, we might be bringing SASA back on Friday, and that's I've got no confidence in
Because they're
that.
not with an Achilles.
because Rovers just do everything better than FC, just like everything. We also know how to injure players. If there's one player we can afford to get injured, it's our fullback, so Jack Broadbent can jump in.
We always
how
injure
good
the
we
wrong
are.
ones, don't we? Yeah.
And he did. Broadbent, fair play to him. Come on.
Yeah, because if you had any
And he
sense, you'd injure Burrow and Caesar.
Burrow's out this week. He can't worm his way around this by playing for the reserves.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he won't get
Just want
picked.
to give a quick shout out. So I was in the stand, and I'm in a world of my own, as I always am. And apparently this guy shouted at me about 4 or 5 times. And I was like, Dad, he's called your name about 4 times. And I was like, oh, right, turned round. Guy called Glenn, he watches the podcast. He was like, you're off that podcast, aren't you? You're off Bragging Rights. I was like, yeah, that's me. I'm off that. My lad hates it. It's like, you're not famous. I'm like, I am famous. People are recognising me. It's just autographs to go next. And he's like, shut up. He hates me, honestly.
Did I ever tell you the story? Oh, Infinite.
Yeah, so it was just a quick shout out to Glenn, who told Mike Abel and Colin Cook to let him have some airtime because he's sick of them two getting it all. So, Glenn, that one's for you. And by the way, I love your moustache. It's superb.
I
What
was
you doing?
out Christmas night out. I don't know if I've told you this, and I was down Humber Street, and this guy come up to me. He clocked me, looked at me, glanced about 2 or 3 times. Then he come over and went, "Oh, love the pod, this and that." And then he goes to his lass, "Can I have a picture?" I was like, "Yeah, if you want." So we was both battered, and he goes to his lass, "Oh, take a picture of us." She went, "Well, he's not famous." He went, "Yes, he is. He's on that podcast. He's famous."
He's an influencer.
Yeah. We'll be on I'm a Celebrity next.
I'm like, oh
That
god.
happened to me, but I'd misunderstood. They just wanted me to take a picture of a nice couple that was having a nice wedding. Was you mentioning about Cook as well? Cookie anyways.
You can, because you've got the thing from Mike, haven't you? So
Well, no, just to mention we'll come across.
Yeah.
We mentioned Cookie quite a bit, Colin Cook, because obviously Craig goes on the coach with him, and we're miking everybody. But Colin unfortunately fell unwell. He was on a cruise.
On a cruise around Norway.
Not that cruise.
It's not hantavirus.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that
We'll
one.
just
Just
throw it out
unwell. And anyways, we won't go into details on it, but he's been spending some time up in a hospital in Norway.
In Bergen.
From what I understand, trying to get bed baths from the nurses.
And Michelle's like, no, I will do it.
And then his wife, who was a nurse, said, I can do it. But anyways, we're not going to get into that. But we know that he always listens, and I'll always having a laugh with him. You know, years ago I went to Catalan with him, and then it's just carried on from there. I didn't realise how much we knew everyone around the Rovers circle. And just want to send him all the best and hope he gets well soon. And then, he's back watching Rovers again ASAP. Absolute character, we love him.
Yeah, best wishes.
All
Speedy
the
recovery.
best. But I will point out, there's worse places to be in hospital, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like, I'd be asking for bed baths too, Aaron.
And I'd like to send my apologies to Glenn for Mike and Colin taking his shout out and overshadowing him again. So Glenn, I haven't forgot about you. So quick roundup then. Wheelchair is all positive this week from us. Wheelchair, they beat Swinton Lions 78-36 at home. The PDRL beat Salford 32-0. The women's, they turned over Widnes Vikings also at home 24 points to 10. And the reserves, which we apparently don't have, we beat Wakefield 23-20 coming from behind there. And finally, I just want to give a massive shout out to 7 of our under-15s girls who've been called up to the Yorkshire Central or Central Yorkshire side to play. They are Maria Eldon, Geizy Fernandez, sorry if I've butchered your name, Abby Jordan, Nancy Palmer, Casey Parker, Lily Robinson, Marley Warner. So a massive well done to you guys or gals for getting called up to the Central Yorkshire side.
Well done.
Little plug for our favourite bar again. Obviously, we record here every week. We're going to tell you every single week until we can pre-record one of these things when we remember to do it. So come down to Tribal. Again, they'll play any sport you want, but mainly let's focus on the Rugby League because they have pretty much every game on. I imagine if you came in and the game that you want's not on, they'll find the TV, they'll put it on for you wherever you can. Get yourself down here this weekend for the rugby, get yourself down here this weekend for the football, if it happens this weekend, who knows. Yeah, bound to be great either way.
I wonder if they have underwater rugby from Germany.
What?
Yeah,
Is that a thing?
I've seen it on an Aussie betting advert, is it Sportsbook or Sportsbet or something.
Oh, have you seen that one in Japan where like they go on a scooter down that real narrow corridor, we're not allowed to touch the walls?
No. Do you know what I did see the other
That's
day?
a real good one.
On like a
Midgets
late
racing
night,
camels and shit
on
like
a
that.
late night scroll, there was like this thing, and there was like a cup filled with like a certain amount of water, and like they flipped the cup, and then the girl blindfolded was like 35 millilitres. Like guessing how many millilitres of water was in the cup. Like, I mean, you could probably get that on TV in Travel if you wanted. And if I'm making promises they can't keep, then that's their problem, not ours.
Can I just point out though, apart from a bank holiday, they are not open on a Monday. That I've just counted. We have had 11 people try the door so far.
In the last hour.
Well, however long from start to now. So yeah, not open on a Monday apart from bank holidays.
Yeah. I've just been informed by Josh that I don't think I'm allowed to say midget, which I've just said again. But if I have offended anybody, I do apologise. What, vertically challenged? How did...
Mate,
My mum liked you.
yeah, my mum's 4'6". If she don't complain,
That's not dwarfism though, so that's
Yeah, it is.
fine. No,
Yeah, it is.
it's less than
I just wasn't sure what the
4
correct
foot, innit?
PC terminology was, and I thought you don't want anyone getting offended, do you?
I would like
well, I
to...
mean, if anyone's going to get offended here, it's going to be you, innit?
You've lost 6 inches since you did that stuff to your back, haven't you?
What? Yeah, but that's not to do with my back.
You've not lost 6 inches round there.
What, you in negatives?
Anyway, yeah.
You won't be
Got
glad
an
for
innie
a
now.
row on Saturday that you've got the end seat.
Right, Josh,
Oh, yeah.
tell us about the... I'll try and do the tune on there. News
From around the world.
of Rugby League.
Of rugby league.
Let's do it then. Brian McDermott has added Sean O'Loughlin and Paul Wellens to his England coaching setup ahead of the World Cup.
What is it, playing squad then?
I mean, he started off all right with O'Loughlin, but then he was like Wellens. I was like, ah, right, cool.
No.
Yeah, we've sacked that.
Willems is down under now at the minute, isn't he? So
Yeah. Where's O'Loughlin? You coaching at Wigan or?
He's always on. I think he's assistant at Wigan, isn't he?
Yeah, I think
he's like how Gareth Fell said he's on the pitch.
Yeah, I've seen him coming on, bringing messages on from the coaches, etc. He's still involved in the Wigan setup. So, look, it's people of experience, quality, and proven winners that can only benefit. Maybe they won't gel together, maybe they won't work, but at least he's trying something different.
Yeah.
Yes, we know it's too late in the day. Yes, we know it's a bit hashed together, but look, he's doing some stuff. Let's see how
He
we
can
get
only
on.
deal with the hand that he's been dealt.
Absolutely.
And, yeah. As much as some of us might not agree with his appointment.
Did you look at me
Am I
then?
the only one here that agrees with it? That I'm
Yeah.
actually glad I like him as a coach.
No, I'm happy he's his coach. I think all of everyone's frustration comes from
Sean
late in the
O'Loughlin
day.
is one of the Wigan
Well,
assistant coaches as well.
Yeah, but that's just down to the way that Wayne handled the situation, isn't it?
It's just better to not have Wayne, I think, and most people agree on
Yeah.
that. So let's see how it plays on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sticking on Wigan then, bit of news coming out this week around Abbas Miski. Real random one this. I was on a discussion on Friday night with Evie, just sat watching the rugby, and said we hadn't seen Miski for a while. And I didn't really realise what had happened, but he actually picked up a hamstring injury against us in the grand final. That's the game that put him out afterwards. He hasn't played since. And Wigan have turned around and said that due to the salary cap pressure that they have, they won't be playing him again in the first team this year. He will be coming back this weekend to play reserve fixtures, to try and get some fitness back. But at the end of the year, he will be offered out to other clubs. Now, aside from the jokes that an injured man over 30 would be perfect for you guys to take into FC,
I think we're all right for years.
it's
Play him in
interesting.
centres, it's fine.
It's interesting that we're going to come out and been so open about the salary cap pressures and the way it's going to happen and what we're going to do.
It's because they can't get away with putting people in the club shop anymore or cleaners.
We all knew I think the last 18 months or so, Wigan have had salary cap issues. We all knew there was there, and there was very close to going over it. But it's the first time, like Josh said, they've come out and spoke about it, so that was quite interesting.
Pete was very candid about
but
it.
They have got. It's pretty easy for them, I think, with the two young wingers that they've got. They've got Eckersley and
Farman.
no, he's the halfback. He scored on the weekend, I think. I can't. His name's gone from me, but they've got two good wingers in the squad already. So, and obviously Marshall, who's out injured at the minute, but they've got three top wingers at the minute already. So yeah, no surprise that they don't need to go there with him. As
Just
good as a
on
winger
Farman,
as he is.
did anybody see him flatten Makasivo?
Great, wasn't it?
Fully enjoyed that.
And what's today's fun fact about Sevo? Because everyone laughed at me when I said that he's only good from 5 or 10
I
yards
messaged
out.
this, didn't I? He's made as many tackles as he has scored tries.
Hodgkinson is the winger
kidding?
from Wigan.
He's scored 18
18
tries,
tries,
and made
18 tackles.
Wow.
The
And I
one
said
good thing
this-
we've done for
You as a team,
we was the first team to stop him.
you was the best team to contain him up until this weekend, I believe. Your game plan to contain Sevo at the circle when you played them was spot on, and it contained him because the guy can't do anything out of backfield.
No. Not when he's
can't
got three
tackle, he
players in
can't
his
catch.
face. No.
So there you go. Anyways, last bit of news then. It has finally been confirmed that Hull KR have signed Tavita Pangai Jr. So it is going to happen now. There's a little bit of confusion over did it happen before Friday, because that's the cut-off for him to be able to play in the Challenge Cup final. We're not clear on that. I'm not sure he would get in anyways. I keep hearing that it's a prove yourself deal, get your fitness levels back up. It's only till the end of the year.
No, cup tad.
No, because he hasn't played for them this year because he's been playing rugby union in the south of France.
Is it right that he's just for you till the end of the year and then he's off to PNG?
He's with us till the end of the year. We don't know where he's going afterwards. But either way, we're never, ever been let down when we're saying, Willie, we trust. He's made the decision to get this powerhouse, this explosive player to come in. But what is interesting about this, and the reason why it's news, is that we have actually had to pay Warrington a fee to be able to sign TPJ.
13, by the way.
For people listening, Dean's been staring out the window watching two more people try the
There you
door.
go.
And the reason we've had to pay fees because the last club that he was actually signed to was Warrington, and they hold essentially his licence to play in the RFL, even though he hasn't featured since he featured for Catalan last year, and he's been playing second grade rugby union in the south of France.
Still technically a Warrington player.
That's like what's
Does he
his
get in
face
your
down
team?
under, innit?
Not when everybody's fully fit, I don't think.
Why then? Is
The only other-
it just a body? Is that, do you reckon?
Train on squad, innit?
Possibly. Might be a train on squad, same as Roe Milnes at the end of last season.
And you're full out to full.
To be fair, actually, Paul Cook
Jack
mentioned this
Murphy.
to us, didn't he, when we was with Paul Cook last year, and he said Rovers brought these players in, like Richardson at halfback, not for what they're going to bring on the pitch on a game day, but for what they're bringing for the rest of the other days during the week when you're training, and you can have a proper session, 13 against 13, proper players, not you. No disrespect to the reserves, the academy, and them type of players, but players who have got first grade experience who can bring it at training. So you've got that intensity to bring up. So maybe that's
The only
same
other...
You did it a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember the name of the player. He played for. I'm pretty sure he's played for
Hampshire.
Wigan. Hampshire.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hampshire, yeah. Fullback.
And like he signed knowing he won't play for you this season. At a time when we could have really done with someone like him in our squad.
Yeah, the only other thing I can think of is if we look at Luckley, he's getting a lot less minutes than he has been getting. Is it maybe to cover Luckley, if Luckley's carrying a knock or anything? 'Cause he's playing maybe 20 minutes a game at the minute. Played bigger minutes this weekend, just gone, because he come on in the first half.
Look,
But
like I said, we don't know.
But we don't know, we're just speculating.
The only thing I would say is that we are due any day now to try and understand who the replacement for Willie Peters is.
we said May, didn't we? And
Where we said May the 22nd originally, but who knows if that's bob on or not, but that's the date that I keep hearing. We don't know who that is, and we don't know how much of a say they've got right now, and we don't know how much they're involved in. If it is one of our current assistant coaches, maybe they've seen something in Tavita that they like or that they want. We don't know. But the point being is, it's been confirmed, we've got him. Maybe we'll see him get a run out, and we'll see him and May go at each other on Thursday night.
If he does play, how close are you to the cap? Like, because I looked at that sign, and a lot of other people online have been saying the same thing. Like, you must be at the cap.
Yeah, I think I was
Where are
reading-
the cap? And you see how shit our team is.
Yeah, no, and their team's like not quite as bad as ours. And
I've spent a lot of this last few days reading, and I imagine how hard it must be to be like a Wigan fan the last few years or whatever. Right now, Hull KR are just a team with a target on the back because we can't win, we can't do anything right. We have the grubbiest players.
No, but
we get
this
everything
is a
from
fair
the
question,
RFL.
though,
we
because-
we must be overspending on a salary cap. I used to say these things about Wigan. I said them about Saints when we did the 4P. I said it about Leeds
For
10
me,
years
though,
ago.
For the Wigan, and this is not, I'm not having a dig. They've allowed the dispensation because they've got a lot of homegrown players. Saints was able to do it when they was winning.
Where does Pongai Jr. is
Shut
from
up.
great-
Where does your dispensation come in? What, Mikey? That's probably it. And then you've got Jez maybe with the international call-up, so you've got dispensation with Air. So I think it is a genuine question. I don't think I'd ask it as a genuine question. I'd say no as a dig because it's not as a dig.
I'm not saying it as a dig. I'm looking at your squad and thinking either you've got players that are being underpaid, like what they used to do at Leeds, where it was like Sinfield and Burrow and Maguire, where they could have earned more elsewhere, but they wanted to stay because they were winning. Have you got that sort of system going on? Because if you haven't, you have got to look at that squad and think that's worth more than 2.1 million.
I think that what people often don't appreciate with Hull KR is that just because we've done so well for the last couple of years and because we've done really well last year, is that they're overestimating the value of some of our, not fringe players as in they don't start in the first team, they're overestimating the value because of the team they're in. Because I'm not saying that great players for us, like Dean Adley, like Sam Luckley, couldn't go elsewhere and be paid 30, 40 grand more by Castleford, by Wakefield to have a good stint. But it's only that 30 or 40 grand for them. And yes, they have short careers, but they stay in a winning team.
Yeah.
But people are expecting that they're on a lot more money than they're not. People severely overestimate how much rugby league players are played. They see big numbers when they see people like Mikey sign new contracts, and they forget what players like Broadbent are signed to. And this ain't football where money just flies around. Players sign 3-year deals and they stick on them. So I understand it's a fair question. I don't think there can be anything gained from pretending there's anything dodgy going on. We've always asked these questions about the teams when we're doing well.
I'm not saying
dodgy's
there's out dodgy going on, by the way. I'm literally, it's a genuine question.
All right, we admit it. Mikey's missus works in the shop. God's sake, you've dragged out of me. Right, news is over because we've gone right off on a tangent.
Which one?
So, no comment section this week. It's well,
Brainchild of mine.
Susan's. Well, what you or him have thrown me under the bus with
Me.
it anyway. Yeah,
But I made up for it in my
you did
defence.
make up for it. So we're having a little social section where we, if there's any social media posts, and throwing me under the section because I am on social media. So Craig suggested it, throw me under the bus, but has bailed me out by giving me
I
something
didn't
to
even
speak
think,
about.
to be fair, until you mentioned it when you got
Are
here.
you on Facebook?
No,
I thought all boomers were on Facebook.
no,
Fair enough.
done. So.
Deleted it because you got caught hanging Union Jacks up around town, didn't you?
No, I
No, he
am
was
I'm not
drawing
even
the
going to joke about
he was
something else.
drawing the English
No,
flag
he
on the
was painting
roundabout.
roundabouts.
Yeah.
No, mine was the little arrows, the speed bumps. That was mine. Yeah. All right.
What?
Social section.
Flapping.
So you can go first, Craig, since you
Well,
thought of it.
I didn't write it down. Bear with me.
By the way, let us know what you think of this because we
Speaking
can
about
always
throwing
drop
under
it.
the bus, you threw me under the bus because you didn't tell me he was doing this.
You asked for
No, but you didn't tell me he was going to say, you can go first. Right, in our section, I spoke about the Mikey tripping incident. One for me.
What about Mike Abel tripping over a tree root whilst he was looking at stuff he shouldn't have been looking at on the golf course?
What was he spying on Hull City's coaching?
He was spying on something, apparently.
Working for Southampton this week.
Yeah, evidently. So it's obviously it's me. It's going to be negative. It's a gripe. People who comment without understanding the disciplinary process.
Oh, I saw your comment earlier today
On
that you
X.
put on Love Rugby League.
Oh yeah, that was on that one. Yeah. So this one was on X. So Warrington fan. Joke. Second time Lewis has been cited for a trip, which in our sport is a big no-no. Yet again, favouritism to Hull KR. We see it in plain sight for what it is. My response was, did Lewis commit an offence? Yes. Has Mikey Lewis been given the adequate sanction, given how the rules are? Yes.
No.
So therefore, you can deal with it if it's called down the middle, which it is. So for me, it's people not having an. Obviously, he's on
What
like
it is,
4.35 now, isn't he? Because of 4.5.
What it is,
or
it's
whatever.
because it's not his first offence for that.
But
And his first offence, in everyone's opinion, was under-punished. That triple error.
to the letter of the law, to the letter of the disciplinary point, it
I
is a
get
grade
it.
B.
I understand
Carries
it.
a maximum of 5 points, I believe. He's got 5 points both times.
And you've got to remember, he's one of your pin-up boys of the league. If Bevan French did it, if Jai Field did it, if Brodie Croft
Gets
did it,
more
Jake
attention.
Connor, it gets more attention. It just does. It comes with it. Unfortunately, mate, it comes with
It
the
does,
territory.
but if people understood the process of the disciplinary panel and the point scoring system that we now employ, there won't be half of
I
this
think
stuff.
you've got a problem here. The disciplinary panel don't understand the process.
It is. I mean, I'll be honest. I still don't fully get it. Like how?
They don't fully get it. As
No,
Dean just
like
said.
the whole thing. It's like Mikey's now on like 4.25. Like, and I
Because
know it's like after you do
said-
something, you get
Yeah.
so many points, and I'm just like, why not make it easy? It's
Because it's the RFL.
yeah. Just go back to. I genuinely hope when, and I'm saying when because I hope that as well. When the NRL take over, I hope they flip back to a normal
Their
disciplinary process.
disciplinary is not as. It's just as bad as ours.
No, but
it
so
goes.
that it's consistent and it's what we all know, right? That is one game, that is 2 games, not that's so many points and you're totting up. It's not a driving licence.
Yeah. Josh?
Looking
Yeah.
forward to this one.
Okay.
No, don't cock it up.
Put a bit of viv into it, come on.
Yeah, all right.
You know that energy you've got before we press go?
So what it is?
Is a weekend on the pot starting to get you now?
No, I'll live a life on the pop, don't I? When the lad said about this, so apologies for using my phone while I'm talking, but I found one on social media, which was a really good question from Reddit, which was, who's a player that at the time you really undervalued, underappreciated, and it wasn't till they'd retired that you actually looked back and went, they were great. And as always, because you've just been talking about this, people on social media are idiots. All the top comments start flying in about, well, I think so-and-so at my club does a good job every week and no one really claps him. Like, it's like Rovers with Dean Hadley, isn't he a superstar and he just don't get the plaudits? It's like, well, for a start, everyone shouted for him to be called for England, and most importantly, he's still playing. The question said he'd retired. So there was so many...
I'd seen on that, someone had said Sean O'Loughlin. Who undervalued Sean O'Loughlin when he was playing?
The main comment on that was about Danny Maguire, and it was obviously from a personal point of view, saying that I didn't actually appreciate just what a genius we was watching in rugby league at the time, and that he was orchestrating everything. And it wasn't actually till he went to Rovers for a year, and then he retired, and then you could see his influence on Mikey Lewis coming through. So some great answers started coming around. Now, I'm going to ask you all yours on that, and hopefully you've got one, but I will actually share Susan's first, because he did obviously chat GPT this, I'm sure. I don't believe it's his own words.
Is it
spelt correctly?
Yeah, I was going to say they spelled correctly.
I'm going to waffle for a further 60 seconds to tell you this and then talk about why this relates to Mikey Lewis as well.
He's still playing.
Yeah. For the question you've asked for tonight, Josh, I'd like to say, for me, it's Sam Tompkins. At the time, everyone outside of Wigan hated him. People judged him far harsher and they let their own attitude and his attitude influence their opinion. This is exactly what Mikey Lewis is now, arguably one of the best in his position, but the antics and the confidence speak louder than the outrageous performances. You could honestly be talking about either of them when I say these sentences. Sean O'Loughlin is also a novice answer for me, but looking back, Tompkins was just different. People will say now that Bevan French or Jarfield are the best players in Super League, but I actually don't think they've ever hit Sam Tompkins' peak level. He was elite support player, unreal acceleration, game-breaking instincts, toughness, competitiveness, and the ability to completely control momentum. What also separates him historically is that he dominated across different eras and adapted his game to fit. So obviously great words from Susan there, probably the only sensible thing he's ever said in his life, right?
Sounds like your mum or your dad did their own work
Sounds
for
like
him.
Alicia's wrote that.
But the point about Mikey's really apt, and this is what he went to there. Mikey does himself no favours, we know this, right? But he has already set himself up to fail in terms of the fact that it won't be till after he retires that people will look back and appreciate what a maverick he was. And I argued this a fortnight ago when I said, if you want to talk about who's been the best player in the last 3 years in the league, look at Mikey's stats, no one comes close. If you look at what Jake Connor's done this year compared to what Mikey or May are doing, they don't come close. And I think Sam Tompkins is a really good shout out for that, and the comparison to Mikey is also very good. And since Tompkins used to get all the hate, I remember when he swore when he put the middle finger up to the crowd behind him, I wanted him banned. I'm the one shouting saying this ain't good for kids to watch. In a big physical bruising sport, because I was blinded by how much I hated him.
Yeah.
And it took for him to retire for me to realise it. So I must admit that Sam Tompkins was a great shout from Susan.
Going on Sam Tompkins, so when Catalan won the League Leaders Shield 4 or 5 years ago, it was at Magic. They beat St Helens and come Golden Point.
What a game that was.
Yeah, and there was attacking the Hull fans for that Golden Point, and all the Hull fans were cheering. And there was a couple of Catalan fans were dotted in the Hull end, and Tompkins come over and he was like, all the Hull players were clapping the Catalan team, but Tompkins come over and clapped the Hull fans, and we put it in another group chat, and my mate was, I cannot believe you're clapping Sam Tompkins. What an absolute joke! Why are you clapping him? He's scummy this, that, everything bad under the sun he was calling him. But I started to appreciate. I didn't like Sam Tompkins, but I started to appreciate how good he was and still is at that point. So yeah, that's a real good shout. That really good shout.
It annoys me because I put a lot of thought into this, and I don't usually. And the answer I came up with was Sam Tompkins. Like, I despise that man. In fact, probably more than Kate Yeaman. And we all know how much I didn't like Kate Yeaman. And
Why?
I just didn't. It was just, I think because of...
Jealousy?
No, very, very much in a similar vein to Jake Connor, where when he played for you guys, he just knew how to get under our skin. And I think from a Rovers standpoint, like when we played you in friendlies and stuff like that, it was just one of them things. Like I've met him since, I've played against him in a Masters game, in an All-Star game, whatever they're called. One of the most down-to-earth people you'll ever meet. But on Tompkins, as Josh said, Dean said, everybody hated him because of what he did and the fact that, I think it was jealousy, he wasn't doing it for their club.
Yeah. He burst onto the scene as well.
He really did. And he just didn't stop.
He truly was the very first of Rugby League entering into the new area of social media and becoming the young superstar that was a bit brash, was a bit arrogant, and did stuff that people didn't like. And he got compared to your legends of the early 2000s and the late 90s in a very different world of Rugby League, where you didn't have social media, where actually what they did back then, which was a lot more aggressive, a lot more punches, a lot more physical games, and what Tompkins did was just be a bit cheeky, make a couple of daft mistakes.
Our faces of Rugby League at that point, where your Paul Sculthorpes, your Andy Farrells, your Ellery Handleys, are obviously long gone, but it was still like, I use it on the which players was on a question of sport. So and there was the players on, so there was the focal point, the face of Rugby League. Yet he come along with this cheeky, brash attitude, a little bit of swagger about him, not afraid to give it back and be cheeky to pretty much every opposition team and fans. And I think that's what rubbed people up the wrong way, because we wasn't used to it.
Don't forget as well, at that time, he was being compared to the stars of yesteryear, and then he was being compared to Dan Maguire, Kevin Sinfield, Rob Burrow, these classy men that didn't seem to put a foot out of wrong outside of the rugby field, and he was something very different. And the comparison with Mikey, I know people won't like this, is very, very apt. You are watching somebody on the field that's doing something his own way, and it comes with an arrogance, and it comes with mistakes like young people will make, just like Tompkins did. And we didn't actually all turn around as fans, because I hated Tompkins with a passion, and I understand why players and fans hate Mikey Lewis, right? But when they look back, if Mikey carries on the trajectory that he's doing and wins stuff like Tompkins does, and turns up in big games like he has done, the grand final, the game against the World Cup challenge against Brisbane, if he does that a few more times in his career, at the end of it, people will turn around and he'll get more comparisons and go, I hated him when he played, but looking back, we saw something very good there.
Tompkins has that arrogance.
I thought Tompkins, he was smarter than what Mikey is, that side of his game.
Well, yeah, because Tompkins' titles make sense. Mikey's got the wrong titles.
Do you think the difference for me? Firstly, I never hated Tompkins. I didn't like Wigan, and I obviously didn't like the fact that he was a Wigan player when he played for Wigan. I didn't like that, but I never hated him as a player or as a person or anything like that. And I can't genuinely say that I underappreciated him when he was on the field either. The comparison though that you're giving to Mikey, I look at Mikey now, and I know he's a good 10 years away maybe from being at the end of his career. Tompkins, towards the end of his career, reined a lot of it in and turned into a true leader, not just in his position in terms of, you know, where he played on the field, but a true leader of men. And he was the type of player that could come on a field and not only affect the result based on something he did, but he could affect other players in a way that would build them up and bring them up to a bit like what Ellis did for us. When he was on the field, we played better. When Tompkins was on the field, whatever team he was in, that team played better. I look at Mikey now and I think he's a million miles away from that.
So look, we've gone off on a tangent because it's not about the comparison of Mikey and Sam Tompkins.
No, it's nice to drag him down a bit.
Of course it is, because we lost 3 games last year and he didn't play in 3 of them. But when he was on the field for the rest of them, we won the treble. So again, because people are underappreciating Mikey Lewis right now because they don't like him. He's 24 years old.
I don't underappreciate him, but I do not like him.
When he gets to the end of his career, we'll see, because no one has been more wrong than I have when I said that Zach Hardacre would let you down. Because he has let teams down his entire playing career.
He has just signed another year though, this time still.
But to this point now, he has not let Hull FC down. If anything, he has given more to your club than most of the players that are stealing a wage from you.
Oh, yeah.
So you can be wrong in them type of things. We don't know how Mikey will mature and grow up. All we know right now is young man. So do you have an answer though?
I do have an answer, but it's not Sam Tompkins. It's not Sam Tompkins, and I've answered this as a Hull fan. And
Hull fan?
Yeah, I've answered this just looking at Hull and what one massive thing that we're missing right now, and a player that's recently retired that I think a lot of people underappreciated.
Peter Lupton's still playing.
Danny Houghton. I think Danny
I
Houghton.
thought one of you two would say Houghton.
Danny Houghton just quietly went about his business. Quietly went about his business. He was very underappreciated, I think, especially outside of Hull. People didn't recognise his efforts as often as what I think they should have been. But when we look at our situation at hooker now, and I'm not just bagging on Burrow, I'm on about Burrow, Cust, just in general, we ain't got an hooker that's going to find your hands 90% of the time like bob on where it needs to be. We ain't got an hooker that's grafting for 80 minutes, slinging tackles in, whether he's first, second or third man.
Correct, third man overall.
Yeah, I know he's passed on that thing to Minchella, I know. But, you know, we ain't got that now, and we really, really miss that.
This was a guy who grafted his backside off for 80 minutes, very rarely give away a penalty, and still had the ability to keep the game level there all game. There was no drop off from tiredness, and we had players coming in. We had Johnston coming in, and forgive me, there'll be a few more that I've missed over the course of his career. Cunningham, players like that, who we brought in to spell him because we thought back end of his career we'd tire him out, he'd be done. The guy played till he was 35 years old, and he didn't drop down.
He played 80 minutes every week. He was the top tackler every week. He never missed the target, or very rarely missed the target when hands were put there.
Do you remember that time when he didn't go for play the ball?
And on top of that, it's not like he shirked the effort in attack. If it was there to be ran, he'd run it.
I think you've hit a really interesting one, because the reason I thought one of you two would bring it up, because I thought Danny Houghton would spark quite a good conversation, because as a bloke, like the guy, you know, I told him before, like, real good fella, right? As a player, I think across the league he was underrated. I think that's genuinely fair. I think that it's interesting for like you two to bring up, because for you guys, if anything, you possibly overrated him because of the frustration that he didn't get the recognition from the rest of the league.
Guy won Man of Steel and still didn't get in the England squad.
Well, this is the thing. Apart from that one year, he won Man of Steel, and I still think there's arguments about that year because there was some tough competition. I'm not taking it away from him. There wasn't really a point in his career that I would be willing to stand up and say he was ever the best hooker in Super League.
Well,
and that's the
he had
biggest,
James Roby his full career.
That's the big challenge you always have. And that
Roby, and then Clark came through.
And that's why...
And then Hodgson kicked off when he moved to you.
From a Super League point of view, he unfortunately was never at the right place to be in his career span to be the best hooker in Super League. So therefore, I genuinely believe you're right in saying that he was underrated, because what could you do when you've just named the names I was going to mention?
Yeah.
Also, especially when you're in a city with two clubs where, as you say, he's coming through, he's doing well, he's Man of Steel, and all of a sudden we have Josh Hodgson. And it's like, well, he's not as good as Josh Hodgson. Josh Hodgson's one of the few players to go over, and if anything, raise his game in the NRL. So that's hard as well.
He was a good
Burgess
Super League
and Graham
player, was
might
Josh
argue with
Hodgson,
that.
and he carried you lot quite a while for a few years.
One of the best.
But when he went over to Australia, that guy stepped it up 2 or 3 gears, and no
He
one
went from a 10 to a 12 like that.
I say he went from a 7 to a 10. He was
I've always thought he was a
unbelievable.
good-looking chap. I always said an 9 out of 10. Let's move on to yours, because this
Right,
is
so
run on.
man's different, man. A player that, when he was about, I wasn't capable of underappreciating him. I just didn't know how good he actually was until now, a bit older. I look back, and that player is Leigh Jackson. Leigh Jackson was an LFC hooker for Leeds. He went down under. He represented Great Britain, and the amount of people that say how good a player that guy was is just like I say. I saw him at Hull back end of his career, early 2000s. I knew he was part of the early 90s, and then he'd moved on to different leagues and abroad. But this player, the amount of people that say to me how good he was just. I'm not saying he was undervalued, because I'm sure people who watched him and understood the game a bit better than I did back then appreciated how good he was. I just didn't realise how good he was. I don't really undervalue players. I can't agree I undervalued Tompkins. I just didn't like the guy. I won't say I undervalued him. And all the other top players in Super League, your Sean Longs, Randy Farrells, never really undervalued them. I always appreciated how good they was. I just didn't know how good Leigh Jackson was. That's the best way I can answer this
I think
question.
this will be real picky, but I do think there's a distinct difference between undervalued and the question of underappreciated. Because you can be undervalued but still understand they're a good person, but underappreciated ties more into because you don't like them. Because you're more likely to underappreciate someone because you've got that bit of scorn against them. But there'll be football players you don't like. I don't know football very well, but you understand that they're worth the money they paid. Declan Rice, Rice Baby.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Arsenal legend.
Judas.
Oh, Sol Campbell.
We've got to get through this one. So Susan's come.
I just couldn't laugh. I just laughed the moment I wrote that there was 5 minutes for this section, and
Susan's
I thought,
just gonna have an
you obviously
absolute
don't know how
meltdown.
many stuff there is involved.
Susan's come with one. And then he saw this, so he's asked me to read it out. An NRL coach has reportedly been caught monitoring his players using an Instagram burner account after players were tipped off unveiling his identity.
So he's like added them on Facebook as like...
As a secret, yeah.
That's fair.
So he's proper checking up. Is that a bit too...
It's a bit stalkerish.
Yeah,
you know?
is that a bit too far from a coach, do you reckon?
Has he ever been employed by Southampton Football Club?
Reports
Just
a
shows
current
a distinct-
NRL coach created a secret burner account on Instagram to monitor the behaviour of his players.
It just shows a complete lack of trust in.
Was it
in
an
the
head
players.
coach?
Don't say.
Or was it just like someone that did it off their own back, like just a nosy little neighbour kind of...
If it is the former, then it's
bad.
It's very bad, and it shows a complete lack of trust. And you wouldn't want to play under that coach, would you? Whether it's the head coach or whether it's just an assistant
The players
coach.
were tipped off from a club source. They then carried out their own research and realised the account in question was following a host of players in the team. One is said to have reacted by jokingly threatening to block the account.
Wow.
I know.
I think it's a big topic of conversation, because I think that we've always had a problem in all sport, but particularly in rugby league, with people not behaving themselves off the field and not committing to training, not getting on a diet, not being healthy. And in my era of really watching an NRL,
Gazza's real bad.
Yeah, of watching NRL really sort of solidly when I was still playing rugby, none of them Aussie players could keep themselves out of trouble for 5 minutes. I mean, like the New South Wales team, you couldn't get Blake Ferguson and Josh Duggan. Remember them two?
Yeah.
Just like skipping training to get pissed on a roof. Do you know?
NRL players are still like it, like
Exactly.
pissing in mouths and getting
And this
dogs
what
to
I'm
do
saying.
Drinking
stuff.
toilet
If
water.
anything, the NRL's still worse than Super League. So therefore, when you say is it too far, is it a problem, and there's no trust, I don't think rugby league players, bluntly saying, give the coaches a lot of chance to trust them.
Fair.
Did our coaches ever trust us? Don't go out
cares?
drinking on the Friday night, lads.
Bit
We've
of a
got big
difference.
games. We've got a playoff cup final tomorrow.
I played better hungover anyway, so.
So mine is from Reddit, from a user called Fry2328, and this is quite possibly the most outlandish claim ever made. So you know, like every now and again, like when we got bought out recently, we know now that our two owners are minted. We are second behind Wigan, I think, in terms of net worth from our owner's perspective, blah, blah, blah. So we were like, we're massive. This is the most outlandish claim from a Castleford fan that Cass are massive. Was watching Eurovision, and apparently the entrant for Cyprus, a very attractive young lady called Antigone, was on Love Island in 2022. This was at the same time former Castleford Tigers hooker Jax O'Neill was on Love Island. Went on Wikipedia, confirmed my findings. This is proof. Cass are massive.
I think that's fair.
I think it's fair, but like I think that's the most outlandish claim I've ever seen from
It's
any
like
fan.
learning to tie your shoes, but you got Velcros. It doesn't-
I struggle, all right.
It was a good series that I actually watched.
We've actually heard, this is going off thingy, but we've heard today that it sounds like they're going to announce Vegas for Saints and Bradford, aren't they?
Yeah.
Which is a bit wild, and we talk about big clubs, and
Bradford are massive.
still wondering what money you guys are going to spend on the field, or off the field even, because I don't think you're doing it right. We keep discussing this, but
We've got that many different areas.
is it true that you went to odds on Sunday and Richie Marler said, if we lose, you can go to Vegas instead of us? Is that what happened?
I think that must.
That's
Yeah,
what happened.
that was like a playoff final for Vegas.
Yeah, two massive clubs.
Yeah. I mean, I get the Vegas thing. Like, as a fan, I'm annoyed because I was really looking forward to going. I would really like to go as a fan, but from a club perspective,
We've got other
when you're
priorities.
in the position we are in terms of on-field performance, we don't need to be putting that extra pressure on ourselves and
100%.
showcasing ourselves to the rest of the world that we're shit.
Still what we did, send a reserves team. It's fine.
Oh,
don't
what,
think
with
he did
Sonner's
that.
first team
Yeah,
players?
yeah. They all had, like,
yeah.
have you seen the episode of Top Gear where he wears a Bill Oddie face mask because he's speeding in Japan?
Oh, in Japan, yeah, you
That's
need,
what it's
yeah,
like.
true. Me again, but it's not my section.
It's yours.
Just going to give a quick shout out to our newest sponsor that you can see at the front of the desk, 7 Gold Vodka.
You know what, I'm going to join in as well.
So
Bunch of alcohol.
you can enjoy 3 distinct and very tasteful flavours. You can enjoy, the boys are going to read them out. I've got Nutoffee and vodka.
I've got Banoffee and vodka.
And I've got toffee and vodka.
They do look really nice bottles, I'll give it that.
Yeah,
That's the best I can say
Do you know
about
what's
it, 'cause I
frustrating?
don't like vodka.
I've got a bottle, but I've not been able to have any yet.
Why not?
Because
I thought you just drank it at the rugby when you meant to be parenting.
But no,
I
7
didn't drink on
Vodka.
Saturday.
7 Vodka, our newest sponsor, what we can say it's available exclusively from behind the bar in Tribal, but it is also available online to purchase. And I actually know a few people, I won't mention names, that are planning to purchase to take down to Wembley for the final.
Also, just want to point out, planning's not good enough. Do it.
So, anyway, 7 Vodka, come give it a go at Tribal or buy some online. And remember, if you do drink, drink responsibly.
7gold.com. That's where you need to go. Synchronised.
Don't worry, I'll edit it so it looks like it is.
That'd be a massive editing job. I don't think you'd be able to do
I'm
that.
not going to do it.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, it's Leigh away on Friday night.
Yeah, we're going to
fucked.
lose.
How about you guys?
Dean's going massive with the swearing tonight.
And,
Sorry. It was something we did discuss and we had to curb it a little bit. But it was I've only done a shit and a fuck, so it's not...
Busy night for you then, pal.
Yeah.
I mean, you're only swearing. Oh, yeah.
Did you do it both at the same time? Sorry.
I can't see anything but an FC win.
Is that because the Jew one?
Well, they have to be, don't they? The way they're going and the way they're yoing back and forth, you are due a win this week.
Yeah, because we missed out on the win because it was Challenge Cup
Correct.
weekend.
So then
yeah.
you lost against Bradford.
Oh, and then we'll miss a loss weekend because it'll be Challenge Cup final.
So,
You're going back
So
to
we'll have
back?
back-to-back wins.
so then that'll be another photo in front of the post, celebration on Humber Street. It'll be mad. No, I genuinely
Can't
think that I don't know which Hull team's going to turn up. I know you guys obviously don't either.
We don't, because we've got
Um,
16 possible absentees.
You could be on a Hardington offing as well, given the way that how we played against them, how physical they was, and they're up for it. And you are away, aren't you? So it's a tough place to go.
And we didn't so much give Leigh credit in your section, but they're a team that we all expected to be up there and thereabouts in the top 4 or 5 this year. They haven't started well. They've had a lot of injuries, a lot of disruption. They are a team now that look like they're starting to just it's clicking to
Got a
gear
few
a little
players
bit.
back
Few
as
players
well, as I
back.
mentioned earlier.
Ipape's massive. Hodgson's back. Armstrong. I don't know if did he pick up another knock on Saturday, did Armstrong, or fail HIA?
Yeah, something happened because Hodgson came on.
Yeah,
and
he
was
went into
definitely
full
ahead.
back.
I just don't know if he passed or not.
So they're getting these players back. Amila Hanley's back as well. Of probably the most exciting British centre we've got at the minute in the game.
Briscoe.
They had. I do fear for us. Like with the Bradford and Toulouse game, I did expect us to win. Really, I didn't back us because I've stopped backing all now. It's gone. I'm not doing it anymore. But
Or reverse
I sort of fear for us now because I feel we could be in for a bit of a pumping on Friday. Because once that Leigh team click, they're incredibly difficult to stop.
I'd tell you what my big worry for you is, in sort of stark comparison to our game, the weather's taking a turn now. I know we've had a lot of rain today, and we've had rain planned for the next couple of days, but it's getting warmer. It's been really muggy today, and looking towards the weekend, it looks like we could be in for some warm, muggy nights. The amount of injuries, and what's going on, and they're coming back in, it could be a depleted and deflated Ulster that I think will still have the energy and effort. As you've said, you've had most of the year, but I think then eventually you're going to start breaking down, and especially, I mean, how the hell, like, with some great try saves at the end that we had, like Budgie's amazing hit on Lamb and stuff like that, you can't have multiple of them in a game. No. And let's be honest, FC aren't rovers, are they? And if you only need to be a few opportunities like that come off rather than don't come off, and I could see it being a big score against you.
Like just from this week, Fasher's now done his knee from that tackle from Gardner. Burrow's failed his HIA. Martin, I've had reports someone's seen him in a boot this evening in Tesco. How true that is?
Well, they've been kidnapped.
What? He's doing his shopping in his rugby boots.
They put the boot shopping and then they saw Martin in the boot, yeah. Litton shoulder, South shoulder. Yusuf obviously got his 6-game ban. Bell picked up an injury in training last week. We knew that was coming, we just didn't know when. He's 4 to 8 weeks apparently.
That was cool.
A bit of positive news. Laidlaw, hopefully he's going to pass his return to play protocol from his HIA. These rumours SA might be back, but I've been very cautious about throwing him into this game.
Especially when
He's got to play.
He's got
At
to
some
play,
point,
but is Leigh away the week before, a week off, the right way? Or is that the right way to do it? You play him and then he's got a week off. Only they'll know we've got to trust him.
If it's early and he does it again, that week off's going to be irrelevant.
Yeah, no. So
just call it quits. Bring the Merju a goal forward to now. Build your stand for 40 people on Costello and be done with it. And at least you'll have a big squad, 15 and 16 or whatever number you're at.
Oh yeah, tried to do it, didn't you? Wonders what he was on about then.
We're at 13. Hutchison though, would you bring him in?
I'd have played him already this season. Like, I love the kid. I think he's brilliant. I genuinely do think of all the... we were talking... I can't remember what group chat it was in. It might have been in our group chat about the Kemps and such. And I mentioned the fact that I think the club have got one eye on our 16s. You can't walk in front of the camera. Just go that way. One eye on our under 16s, and they're the ones that we should be looking at and thinking they're potentially the future. That's the way the club see it. But for me, out of our current crop of youngsters, whether it's either of the Kemps or whoever else might be in there, Hutchinson, for me, he's the one. If any one of them players is going to make it, in my opinion, he's the one that's going to make it. I really rate him. And I'm good with hookers. I was the one that was screaming blue murder when we released Jez
I'm not
Litton,
touching that.
and no one else was.
Not
touching what?
The good hookers comment. You said this. You said something similar 12, 16 months ago. Kemp was the one that you was putting your money on. They was the ones that needed time.
Out of the halfbacks, when it was between Kemp and Charles, I was happy that we kept Kemp and let Charles go. But I mean, in general, if you said to me which one of the current academy or reserves or kids now is going to be wearing an Hull shirt with a starting number on it in 3, 4, 5 years' time, I'd say Hutchinson.
You're just at Daesh, right? In terms of the fact that whatever you do
Don't
now,
come at me in 5 years' time when he's playing for Gateshead.
Goal FC.
They'll still be playing for you.
You can't do right for doing wrong here because you're in the same boat you've been for a couple of years, which is throw the youngsters in and don't look after them, watch them get battered and get injured themselves or fall out of love with rugby. Don't put them in and then have everyone screaming for your neck saying why aren't the young kids getting a chance, and then stand up again and say once again we've got another year where we're injury hit and depleted. You
because
can't
our
win.
recruitment's been
The
poor at
only
the beginning
thing
of the
you
season.
can do better next year under Steve Mack, as we've discussed multiple times, is just keep your mouth shut at the start of the season, stop doing a Warrington and saying it's your year, and just expect mediocrity, and then if you do any better, then you can start bringing people in. But right now, you can't win.
Do you know what? I don't think I've ever heard any Hull fan, in recent years at least, say it's our year.
I'm not sure where it's come from this year.
Yeah, I don't know. I know there was a lot of Hull fans said, we think we'll do better this year than last year, but I don't think any Hull fan...
That was easy, wasn't it? It probably comes more social media, as we always discuss, you get a lot on it. We discussed
Boomers
before,
on Facebook.
you get a lot of your... you try and drive ticket sales up, so you get a lot of the club coming out and talking about it. But you had a lot of players at the start of the season and coaching staff saying things like, this will be our year, I think we can do it.
No one said it'll be our year.
What
though,
was
Josh.
the one that Barron said? Something about, I truly believe we could be the most entertaining team in the league. I'm laughing every week, mate. I think it's fantastically entertaining.
That's
But
easy to say in pre-season when you're throwing the ball about, you feel good in
fully
pre-season.
fit team.
But no one's come out and said, it'll be our year. The point that you've just said.
I feel like I've touched a nerve here. Wasn't specifically about that. What I'm saying is, you said what can you do? I said, you're going to have a tough time because now you can't start throwing these young kids in, right? But we've heard for so long, FC have got to take the rough with the smooth. As Rovers fans, when we was down in the doldrums, we had to hear for so long, well shit we was, then we had to hear for so long how we don't have an academy and how Hull keep all the players and we don't have our own players in our team and Hull bring their own players through. Now it's time to put up or shut up. Give these players a chance, like you didn't do last year, like Logan Moy, who was nearly cast aside, had to fight his way back in. Give him a chance and let's see what happens.
I'm looking at a different point. I do agree with quite a bit you're saying there. We're 18 months into this, Josh. Like, you don't put up and shut up yet. We are still, although you claim that we're on a rebuild and it's starting again and it's starting again. No, we're on the same rebuild.
I don't think it started.
This isn't an 18-month fix. This is not a 2-year fix. This isn't a 6-month. We aren't going to see the fruits of this until 4 or 5 years' time. We ain't going to be where you are, hopefully, where Wigan are and where you are, for at least 4 or 5 years. That's even if we get there. But it is shit at the minute. We've got things wrong, recruitment-wise, things have gone wrong. But let's not forget, over these last 18 months, we've done a lot right. We're
going to get a lot wrong, though.
We're going to get wrong. And
we've got a
it's
CEO
shit. We've just got
that's-
to, we have got to put up and shut up, because more so we've just got to shut up and just get on with it. It's going to be shit, but hopefully it'll turn out good.
Look, we've got a CEO who's never been a CEO before. We've got 2 owners that have never owned a club before. They've owned businesses, but sports teams, owning a sports team's not the same as running a regular business. There's different ways and means that you've got to do it. On top of that, they're trying to build the back room as well at the same time. You see the expansion that we're having in terms of like staff in the back room. They're doing all that sort of stuff. So they're trying to get all that right and then all the other stuff right. You're going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. I think mistakes were made with the Cartwright thing. The way that was handled by both sides wasn't great. That's had an effect on the team. The players that we've signed, whoever's been making decisions on, should we take a punt on an injury-prone player again?
I think that's the big one, isn't it? That's the big one, then. We're getting held to that. Rightly so by some fans, the recruitment side. We had a positive recruitment at the end of 24 for 25. We brought in players last year. Yeah, some were injury-prone. But they did a job and set us on that right path, I believe. Recruitment for phase 2, we've got it all wrong, apart from maybe Arviel, and Bailey's been okay for us as well.
I think Bailey's been underrated.
We've got it all wrong, and we are now, because we've got it all wrong, this recruitment, people start to having the little digs at us, and maybe rightly so.
Look, we need to turn it back to the game on Friday. We've gone off on a
No, we
tangent.
don't.
I think in terms of where's it come from, and it's our year, and we're not specifically saying that comment. I think what you've got to understand is
You're after a nibble, I know you are.
yeah,
You
but
got
when it
one,
goes
you got
back and forth, it's been said on this podcast by Jimmy. I don't think you said it about we're now the richest club.
Second.
But now,
now.
But now we're not doing this, and now we're not going to Vegas, and now we've had all these injuries, but we're not buying players in, right? I'm not trying to lay it on, but if I was a Hull FC fan, I'd be screaming at the roof off saying, what the hell are we doing? Are we playing the youngsters, or are we going to start spending some of this cash to replace some of these injuries?
You're right.
Because
with that.
Will Price has been injured for what, 7 games now?
We've brought. Yeah, what round are we in? Round 11. He got injured in round 2. We've brought in. No, I get it to a point, but we've not seen anything apart from a couple of loan signings come in. We brought that Matautia in, who's now taken the quota spot for Liam Knight. That's not. He's proper short-term fix. And these only come in when the fans started whinging about what's happening after the Cartwright thing. Like, where's all these signings? Cartwright's we've put names to the owners, but they've not done anything, or CEO, whoever. And then all of a sudden we get a couple of loan signings in. Is that trying to just I don't know. But I would like to see a couple of blokes in the door. I thought I'd have seen a couple of people coming in.
It's really tough times right now. We don't know what the right way to go is. There's youngsters you can play, you haven't made any signings, you can maybe get more loanees in, but you are at a crucial point of, all jokes aside about when the rebuild starts and when it starts again, the reality is you're just over a third of the way through the season, or maybe a bit more than that, or 40% in. Where is this season going to go for Hull FC? And we was expecting this Hull FC team to not be panicking about a trip to Leigh on a Friday night, to be saying we can have a good chance here. But in a short 11 games of a season, we're now turning around and going, this could be a walkover. Now, you can't just let the team go to shit for the rest of the year and then start again next year, because that isn't the way to do it. So what is the club and what are you as a team going to do about it? And it starts with this Friday night. How do you back up from a loss to Bradford like that? Which players get in? Which players that aren't performing get chucked out? And who's got the bottle to do it?
We haven't got the players available to chuck the players out that need to be chucked out. It's all right saying we could bring a few youngsters in, but a couple of youngsters isn't enough to replace the players that realistically should be getting dropped from that team. So our hands are tied, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's for me with the signing players and stuff. It's not a worry for me. It's the on-field performances is a worry, but I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, who can we bring in now? Who is available now that is willing to leave wherever they're playing and sign for us until the end of the year? Because in my head, I'm hoping that the sensible thing's happening in the back, which is we're trying to sign players with Macca, Steve McNamara, and Richie Marler, and say, who are we bringing in for 2027? Sort that out, and then think, right, now we can start thinking about, well, who can we bring in just to tide us through to the end of the season?
But that's
and I know we're writing off this season.
And again, I don't want to do that.
I'd rather write off this season than make a mistake and make a rash decision to sign someone now just because we're playing shit and affect our next season. I'd rather think, you know what, shit's hit the fan, all this Cartwright shit's gone wrong, all these injuries are going wrong, we just got to control the controllables.
But we're a third into a season and we're writing it off. We've written it off.
I've written it off. I'll be completely honest.
And look, we're all mates here. All that aside, I don't envy you. It's not a nice position to be in.
I don't like the fact I've written it off, by the way, but I have written it off.
No, don't never pretend you would.
Anyway.
Let's have a really quick talk about this month's monthly sponsor then, and then we'll move on to a preview for the Rovers game this week. This month, our money from the Bragging Rights, our £50 and our shout out every week, is going to mother and daughter duo Sarah and Leigh Green. They're raising money for cancer research. They're going to be taking part in a challenging and a muddy run in the Pretty Muddy Challenge. They are basically doing this. All money that goes just going into cancer research and to raise money. The idea behind it all being that pretty much everybody in life is unfortunately being affected or touched by cancer in some way, and always in a negative way. So you'll see the barcode and the scan come across the bottom of the screen. If you want to donate, you can, but if not, our money goes there regardless, and we wish them good luck when they go on to the run. But that's our shout out for this month, so good luck to Sarah and Leila.
Just want to say I'm glad I didn't wait to go for a wee, because there would be a puddle right now. Just saying. That was a very long 5-minute section.
I think sometimes I remember like the shit I was getting when we went down or when we lost at Wembley and I take it out on Dean and Jimmy, even though it wasn't then. But like the faces become blurred and I see different people.
You just see an old badge.
Yeah, and I just start getting into it.
So yeah, us this week then. It's a really, really tough one to sort of predict in it. We don't know which way they're going to go with squad selections. Obviously, Matty Pete, the last time, was it when they played Warrington in 2023, rested 7 players, I believe it was. Obviously, then went on to beat Warrington in the final. Do we do the same thing? Do we rest some key players?
You rested them, you didn't win, did you? You do it before the Leigh final, you rested about 10 players.
Yeah, with wholesale changes. We've got Wallop the week before, and then...
At Wigan, I think
it was, yeah. I think you are right. And then obviously lost the final to Leigh. So it's one of them, like, where do we go, what do we do? And
what do you think he'll do?
I think you've got to go full strength.
We'll pretty much know by this, well, before this goes out, because you're Thursday night, aren't you? So it's, the squad will be released before this
tomorrow, I would assume. But I personally would go full strength. You've got to keep that momentum going. It's 6 wins, try and get to 7 in the league, 9 in all competitions. You've got to win that psychological, easy for me to say, battle of having that win over your opponent from the following week. It's just, you've got to, for me, I do think.
Yeah, I don't think you change much really. You go pretty much full strength. It's still a league game, it still counts something. Well, it's nice that we're playing the Thursday night, the pair of us. You know, it gives us both that longer time off to play the following Saturday in the final. We have a slightly shorter turnaround from the weekend going in, and it was a physical encounter for us, but they also had a physical battle as well. I'm very pleased it's at home. I think that gives us that little bit of advantage, and that'll be reflected in my predictions. I think it'll be a close, tight game. I think it's a significant moment for us as a club, this. You mentioned a few times how many finals we've been in recently, what we've done, but if we're really going to start seeing maybe a changing of the guard or to see Rovers sticking up there for a longer period, it's games like this that you can't fear or worry about. Wigan might be a good team, they might have had a great game this past week, but they're going to turn it up and we're going to show them why we're the treble winners and why we beat them at grand final and why we don't fear them.
You say that, but I don't think they were superb against Leeds. Well, Leeds were just so poor.
Took the words out of my mouth.
Sorry.
If we've been realistic, Leeds were not that great. And also, what Wigan did, I think, last week was fantastic in defence.
Basics.
Now, if there was another club in Super League that I'd back to go toe to toe in D, my first name would be Rovers right now.
You've got, over the last 3 or 4 years, Wigan have been at the top at the bottom. There's a lot of games where you'd look at them and go, they've been great, but they got the job done. It's sort of the Wigan way. They can turn it on, they can be flashy, and especially when Bevan's in the team, they can be flashy and skillful. But all that skill, you think, oh, Bevan did that, or Bevan did that. Everyone else is pretty. They're not bang average. That's far from it. But they're not flashy. They're not. That's not the Wigan
type. That's what makes them so good, doing it. They do all the stuff that they need to do.
Yeah, that pretty much. Yeah, I couldn't get my words out really. But they're not. They do just get the job done. They've been known for that. Not so much this season, but over these last 3 or 4 years, they've just got the job done majority of the time.
Huddersfield at Dewsbury springs to mind in that one where they won it in the last second. You know, they were brilliant in that one. They've had a few.
There's so many of them
games this season.
Infuriatingly, can't say the word.
Easy for you to say.
Madly, they are just game winners. And they know how to do it.
That's it. And that's the way to put it.
At the end of the day, I've seen this question being asked a million times. Lose on Thursday night, see you win the Challenge Cup next week and go back to back. You know, have a close game, lose but come out with no injuries, but you can win. It ain't about that. Win both. I'm not saying we will. We might lose both, and that's also fine because that's sport and it has your highs and your lows. But the way we are, the way we became the team we was last year, and the way we've carried on this year, and the way we're now building into the season. You've truly got to believe that we've got the right people in the right positions, barring one injury at Morg. So we turn around and we go, We beat them on our home patch. We give them something to fear in a week's time, because that's how you've got to be if you want to be a Wigan that's at the top for 5, 6, 7, 8 years.
Yeah. You've got to be ruthless.
Not in contention for 2 years like we've been and then win it all 1 year or 3 years. And you've got to keep doing that for a long period of time. So we have to have that belief, and so do the players. And that's why I'll be nervy come Thursday night. Not as nervous as I will be at the final, obviously. But with it being at home gives me that hope that actually I think we can do it, and it'll springboard us on for the final.
Hopefully, but then on the flip side of that, it's like that gives them some more ammunition going into the final. They beat us last week in the league. We need to right that wrong, sort of thing. So it is that, but then it's...
I don't think the result from Thursday bears anything on the final the next week.
You know,
I'm hoping that the ammunition that they're coming with is, we lost the grand final to these, we have to beat them. And then we beat them on Thursday night, and that knocks them down a peg, and they go, we came in all fired up to do this, to say, you might have beat us in the grand final, but we're going to win now. And then that plays on the man for the final. But I just don't think it will, because I don't think too professional of an outfit.
Yeah.
So anyways, Rovers by 60.
we're playing up.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah, we'll play someone else in the second half.
Craig's down to chant.
What's wrong with that pen?
It's run out.
Oh.
Did you not see me scribbling furiously earlier?
No.
Is it me?
Yeah.
It is me.
We have to. It says 5 minutes. I think we need to do it in 2 because I think we've been going for like 2 hours.
It does feel like we've been going about 2 hours. All right, I'll start off with the yellow cap for this week, who was Danny Mortimer, who is neutral like Switzerland.
I think he's won it a couple of times this year now.
I'm not sure. I don't remember calling his name out.
How can you watch a sport and not have a team? Like, surely, like...
I don't have a team in the F1.
Do you not?
No,
Do you have a
generally.
driver, though?
No, I like Charles Leclerc. I think he's handsome.
Yeah, he plays golf. He's got a driver.
Shut up.
Yeah, man.
I play football with a guy who I didn't know until yesterday is an analyst for Huddersfield Giants. And I went, but before I found out, I went, oh, do you sport? He went, whoever's paying me.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, if it's your livelihood, then yeah, I can kind of understand that. But anyways, he scored 8.5, took the yellow cap.
Oh, it's a low scoring week then.
Yeah, 8.5 was the highest.
All you idiots backed over, didn't you?
Rolling Robins coach Connor Sweeney won. He retrieves the wooden spoon this week. Caveat, to quote Josh, he did only back one fixture, which was our game, which is a bit odd considering 4 had gone beforehand, 5 had gone beforehand. So
why didn't you back the game after that as well?
I
I don't understand people who do that.
this is the first
You
one.
literally scroll down and go, team, number, team, number, team, number, team. You know, like, however, it's so easy.
I won't forget this week because I've done them already. Quick recap of our standings then. Susan, sort of pulling away a little bit now. 64.5, scoring 6.25 this week. Dean leapt up to second with a score of 7 for this week, on to 59.75.
Bully.
Myself on 59 after scoring a measly 4.5. Jimmy fourth, 58.5 on 4 points this week.
Wow.
And then Josh scored 6.5, taking his total up to 55. So you're closing the gap a little bit.
What's the gap between top and bottom?
Top and bottom is now 9.5. So it's still close. That can still be overturned in 2 weeks.
Susan has never beat you in anything in life.
You can't let that
Oh,
happen.
that's some motivation, that, innit? I can see it now.
You can't let it start now, Josh.
I know. That's saying something as well, because he's the youngest of the 3 brothers, and he's still not even the favourite with like your parents. Like, so that's how bad he is at winning things. You can't let him beat you.
He's the adopted one, and he's still
Can't
not a
even
favourite.
defend themselves, we'll say.
Why do you think he's going to?
Pardon?
Why do you think he's going to?
I'm just saying you can't let it happen.
Because he's 9.5 points in front of you so far.
Back 9 player.
Back 9 player.
What are you going to do with this middle now?
I think you're
Keep tuned to find out. So moving on to this week then, we've just discussed our game, Rovers versus Wigan, a sort of curtain raiser, dress rehearsal, however you want to phrase it, to the Challenge Cup final a week later. Rovers by 4.
What should be a real poor game and nothing happened. Rovers by 6.
Rovers by 4.
Rovers by 8.
just saying poor game. I hate when the Thursday night game's poor because it feels like it's just.
Set
You
you
look
up for the
forward to the
weekend.
Thursday game because you've had 4 or 5 days without a game, so you look forward to that game to watch. And when it's crap, it's just proper deflating a little.
That's
bit.
why we're glad you was on the Sunday, so then it can pick us up ready for Thursday.
Cheers.
It's all right, don't mention it. Susan's gone for Rovers by 6, so very, very tight across the board there. Just a 4-point spread between all 5 of us. I noticed I didn't do the ground then, but never mind. Headingley, Leeds versus Huddersfield, Leeds by 28.
Leeds by 16.
Leeds by 18.
I hate when you do it the wrong way
I
around.
didn't do it the wrong way around, I've done it down.
Leeds by 20.
That's right, he's gone right.
Not according to Super Brew.
I did it through Super Brew.
On my things, it says...
That's because you have it set up like that.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Yeah. Susan's gone for Leeds by 10. Leigh Sports Village then, second home game in a row for them against your mob. Leigh by 24.
I've got Leigh by 18.
Leigh by 22.
Leigh by 16.
Susan's got Leigh by 16. So Leigh across the
Oh,
board
you're
there.
not backing all this week, are you?
I'm not backing us again.
No, not this week. The Jungle, Weldon Road, one ball, whatever you want to call it these days. Castleford Saints by 16.
Saints by 14.
Saints by 20.
Saints by 8.
8, and Susan's got Saints by 10. Toulouse, I actually called their game wrong last week. It wasn't at the Stade Ennis while on.
No, it wasn't, was it?
No, it wasn't. I only noticed that as I was doing my predictions for this week, but I can't remember the name of where it was, so I do apologise to any Toulouse fans if you're listening, which you're probably not. Toulouse Wakefield, Toulouse by 14.
Okay, Wakey by 22.
Sorry, no, Wakefield by 14.
Oh, I've taken first answer.
No, I have got that written down there. Look, Wakefield.
You was trying to do the Toulouse by 14, weren't you? But you
I
cocked it
have
up,
no
didn't
idea
you?
what I was trying
Yeah.
to do. I got myself all in a tiz getting the stadium wrong last week.
Wakefield by 14.
Wakefield, so it's a home win by.
Is that you saying what he is, or that what
No,
you're
I'm-
going for?
yeah, I'm saying-
Would you like to start again?
No, it's okay.
Welcome to Bragging Rights.
I'm also going Wakefield by 14.
Susan's got Wakefield by 8. LNER, York versus Catalans, York by 4.
York by 14.
Catalans by 8.
Catalan by 10.
Susan's got York by 6. Finally then, rounding off this round of fixtures, Halliwell Jones, Warrington versus Bradford, Warrington by 20.
Warrington by 20.
Wire 16.
Warrington by 22.
Susan's got Warrington by 12. And that rounds up the predictions for this week.
Just before you close.
Oh, you can close then.
No, I'm not. I know it's a rugby podcast, but we have got a team playing at Wembley this week. So, from
Maybe.
No, it's going ahead. Maybe. I'll speak on our behalf. Just best of luck to Hull City. All the fans travelling down there. Safe travels this week.
Say the same next week.
I was going to
No.
say best luck to Southampton. I don't know what he's on.
We play Middlesbrough now.
I have no idea what you're playing. I don't care.
No, anyone who's going down, safe travels down. Hope you have a good weekend. Hope City come back as a Premier League team because for the City it will be great. And at the end of the day, we want what's best for the City as a whole. So, all the best.
I'm going to ask you live on air, knowing what the answer is. You're going, aren't you?
Yes.
Are you going to wear black and amber?
No.
Why not?
I'm just going to wear a t-shirt.
Why won't you wear black and amber?
'Cause I'm not a Hull City fan.
Who do you support?
West Ham.
So if you see Dean at Wembley on Saturday, especially if we lose, just glass him.
Drink responsibly.
If City win, you can pass me on when I'm on my way back down to the
Are you going
Championship.
Wave on the way
to
past.
take some bubbles to blow?
No.
Anyway,
You should have done that and just done it in his face as you're recording it and then overlaid it with Forever Blowing Bubbles.
I know.
Spoil it for yourself.
They don't blow bubbles anymore. They're all burst.
They've just gone.
Yeah.
Are they on about FC season or what? I don't know.
What about West Ham?
Every team I support
Did anyone
season.
see the bubbles at Leigh? They were
No.
like smoke-filled bubbles.
I didn't watch the game. I was playing bingo in Ingemelds, so I didn't watch your game.
You old fat.
Anyway, once again, thanks very much for Tribal. Thanks very much to Tribal for housing us and being the home of the pod. Thanks very much to Comscarf, to GN Carpets, to 7 Gold, all of our sponsors. You can become a sponsor. There is a thing at the bottom of the screen. And don't forget, whatever you're listening or watching on, to like and subscribe. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hype. But that's
Up to 3 times a week.
Hype up to 3 times a week. Don't waste your hypes on any other crap that you're watching on YouTube. Use all 3 hypes for us. Thanks very much.
On this crap.
On this crap, yeah. Thanks very much. See you, bye.
See you, bye.
See you, bye.
See you, bye.